Out to where everybody does School of Infantry, everybody does everything. So I'm like, whoa, there's like, yeah. And then after like 18 months, you go to your first like job school.
That sounds more like the British Marines than the British Army.
Yeah, there was the Royal Marines, sir, Royal.
Well, yeah, because that's what they are, the British Royal Marines.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Where do you want me to be from? I'm from Texas. I did a stint in Arizona though, so.
Well, let's start with your name and by introducing you and saying hello and welcome to the Wonton Wednesday podcast. This is a great friend of mine, Lee Bates. Lee Bates, take it away. If you want to tell them your name.
Yeah, my name is Lee Bates. Are we recording now?
Oh yeah, I've already pressed the magic button. I should have warned you, but I didn't.
Well, I'm Lee Bates. Born and raised in Texas. Graduated in a small town, class of 9. Joined the military right out of high school. Graduated in 2004. Went to where did I go to basic at? Oh, in San Diego. Went to basic in Sandon. Did MCT there, and then they sent me straight from LAX Airport to the armpit of the United States, J. Vegas. And then that's where I spent the rest of my enlistment.
I took to calling it Jacksonville for a while.
Yeah?
Yeah. I figured that was a good name for it.
Jacksonville. It worked. It worked.
It's close, but it's like, this place is vile. Yeah.
Yeah, I just call it J. Vegas. I mean, it's got strip clubs like on the strip. So.
Oh, this is true. But I was down around that area for New Year's. I was hanging out with Stumba and Hawes, and like that triangle area where the cave was, and the Navy Federal, and then what was that hotel that was there? That's all gone.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah, like J. Vegas is totally different now.
Wasn't it like the cave and what was it? The one I think I had an instructor that just like lived in one of those places. La Mirage, that's what it was.
No, La Mirage was right off base almost.
No, that was Toby's.
No, Toby's was
right out the front.
Toby's was straight out the gate, but La Mirage was like take a right and then you hit that first little U-turn and it was right there.
Yeah, was it? I thought the cave was there too.
No, the cave was further down so you take a right, you go down like 1.5 miles, 2 miles, and then it was a cross in that little triangle area. So there was the Triangle Motor Inn. I forget the name of the bar that was in there. The cave was over there, and then there was like a random bank that nobody used.
Oh, yeah. And then Driftwood was right outside Lejude's gate.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where I got bit by a stripper. It was horrible.
Every story that involves Driftwoods doesn't involve anything that's good happening at the end, or in the beginning, or the middle.
You had her teeth filed down like a vampire, and I was like, "This is a great idea."
Oh my god! So you were like trying to hit on her, and you were trying to get her to bite you. Like, how did this happen?
So it was like, man, I was early into my career there. So it was just a young Lance Corporal with hopes and dreams in my eyes, and went up base. I don't remember how we ended up there, but we ended up there because we thought it was a great idea. And it wasn't like the main stage. It was like the satellite dancer. And then who was I with? I don't even remember where I was or who was with me.
You were Lance Corporal. You were probably with Seese.
That's exactly who I was with. Yes.
I fucking knew it. Love Seese.
Was it? Were we in the schoolhouse? No. Ah, man, it had to been. It had to been. Yeah. So I went up to the satellite Like I was big hot shit with my dollar bill, and they grind on you, whatever, cocoa butter, glitter everywhere, and then all of a sudden it's in her teeth, and then she bit me on the neck, and I thought I got an STD from that. Good time. Oh man. Yeah.
That's
Oh
amazing.
man.
By the way, I want you to know
that
this is the
reminds.
second time Seese has come up in a podcast.
Is it really?
The first time I was explaining the 3-story beer bong that we did after was it Nellis or
I
the
was just
boat?
telling that story the other day.
And Seese was the only one to clear it.
No,
What do you mean
it
no?
rolled right in and right back out. I watched it.
No, that was the second time. The first time he did it, he cleared it. Then he went back for a second one, like 30 minutes later, because we were all like, Seese, you're the man, woo.
Yeah.
Like all that shit. And that's when it came right back out for him.
Who else took it? Didn't Hawes take it?
Hawes took it, and he probably did a little better than me. And like, I took about half of it. Like I got half of it. And I was like, oh God, I can't do this.
I stayed away from that. I saw that and I was like, that is another stripper bite incident right there.
Dude, that thing like shot out with the force of a fire hose because it's 3 stories, so there's like an atmosphere.
So check it out.
Beer just like
so
trying to shove in you.
There's an actual formula to figure out what PSI that's coming out of.
Yeah.
So I work in water and wastewater now, so I know this. So if we knew the exact footage of that hose,
I believe we got 30 feet of hose. It held 6 beers to the top of the funnel.
Well, it doesn't have to do with volume. It just has to do with feet. I think I got it
So
right
32 feet is 1 atmosphere of pressure.
Let me see here. So 32. Water pressure. It should be like let's see, 1 foot of water. I just had it. I was looking at it today. Hold on, I'll tell you. So just water.
I mean, water and beer are practically they're very similar. Because what is beer?
It was Bud Light. It was Bud Light, wasn't it?
It's Bud Light or Miller Light. It was one of the two.
That's 13 psi at 30 feet.
I mean, that sounds right.
Yeah. So
and also, this is coming out of a 1-inch hose, so 13 psi of 1 inch. 6 beers in like 2 seconds.
Yeah. So there's some volume coming out of that bad boy.
Oh,
I see. Look how smart we are. 13 psi. And we'll give it. That's 30 feet. So, yeah, 13.5 psi, almost 14 psi. So, a typical house runs off of like between 30 to 60.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you guys are like almost halfway to house pressure. No, I stayed away from that. I do have a beer bong story. So, we went and stayed at a cottage. I forgot what beach it was. I think it was like, was it like Emerald Isle? I think McMiller was with us. Do you remember him?
Yes, I do. I loved him. He's a great person.
He is a good guy. So this good guy would never show up to parties with beer. Do you remember that?
No, I don't believe I've been to too many parties. Well, basically with Flightline. If it was, I like would randomly show up at Bammers.
Yeah. So we show up at this cottage. I forgot how we rented it or whatever. Anyway, we rented this cottage. There's a bunch of us. I think there's a bunch of Flightline guys. And McMiller showed up, and I forgot what happened to his leg, but he always had that cast on.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah, so he shows up, and me and Keith, we're doing beer bongs in the kitchenette because we're having a good old time. So I took it was like 2 beers to it, and I mean it wasn't anything like the 3-story monster you guys created. So I took it, and Keith was like, yeah, we broed out, high fives and shit like that. And then I hear glug, 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 and my beer bong has this clear liquid in it. I'm like, oh no, what is this? And I look, and McMiller's laughing as he's putting the cap back on his Everclear.
Oh.
And I was like, oh no. So I went to the sink, and this is how you know you got a best friend. So I went to the sink and I go to dump it out, and I hear Seese, no balls, Batez. So what do you do?
The famous line of, I just believe it was that era of our life. No balls,
Yeah.
fucker.
So yeah. So
Do you know how
so
easy
I
it
mean,
was to get buyers to do anything by saying no balls?
yeah. I think like up to the extent of like serious bodily harm, I think anybody would be able to do anything if you know balls them. Like that was a go-to if you wanted somebody to do something freaking stupid.
So one time, me and buyers, we left, like, you know, the shift ended at like midnight or whatever. He's like, I'm hungry. Are you hungry? I'm like, yeah. He's like, let's go to Walmart and get something to eat. So we go to Walmart. He's like, let's get some steaks. I'm like, okay. I was like, where are we gonna cook them? I'm like, I guess we're just gonna use the grills outside of the bricks. So I'm like, okay, cool. So we buy some steaks, and like as we're walking out, he's ripping the thing off and just starts gnawing into it like it owes him money, and it's like fresh off the cow. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? He's like, no balls, man. This is how we're eating them. I'm just like,
oh, for real?
This is what we're doing. Just
he didn't even hit him with a bit on the way out or nothing.
Just
straight out of the freezer.
Ripped out of the wrapper. Starts eating. He's like, no balls. I'm like, all right, I guess that's what we're doing. So that's what I did
oh
too.
Man,
like,
that's great.
Just like sashimi, man, like sushi, just like taking down these steaks.
What is that, tartar? Is that what they call it?
I do believe it is tartar.
Yeah. You just cut it off the cow, and then here you go. That works. Anyway, so I hit that beer bong and blacked out like immediately.
Yes.
But I made sure Steve did it too. I made sure he did it too. I know balls in my back. You know, you got to hit him. I did came to in a toga and flip flops and a cowboy hat, and I have no clue where any of my other clothes went. We were walking to McDonald's.
Oh, nice.
And it was great. Yeah. And I don't know where my underwear went. So I just had this toga. Like I'm out here. Like I don't got any of my clothes.
You went authentic into the toga.
I went hardcore into it. And then we get back to the cottage after our thing. All the people were laughing at me. They're like, "Oh, it's like a frat thing. You beat hazed." And I'm like, "No, I chose this." And then we get back to the cottage, and I remember, I'll never forget it in my entire life. Seese was passed out, but he was like in between the mattress and the box spring. So I don't think he had a blanket, and he got cold. So he just used the mattress as the blanket.
I have been told I've done that before by Ryan.
It works.
It does work.
It totally works. Man.
Yeah. So,
Garan. You remember Garan?
Yeah.
I think he was there at that party too.
I love D. He's a great dude.
What do they call it? Block. Yeah. Good stuff. There was all kinds of ridiculous things going on there. So what have you been up to, Mr. Augustine?
So let's see. I got out in 2008. I was a civilian contractor on 47s for 3 months, and then I went, I do not like working on an army base, so I left. Then I tried my hand at college, and I really enjoyed out drinking college kids more than I enjoyed doing college work, because I'm horrible at math, so I drank myself out of college on the GI Bill. And then I was a security guard at a cookie factory when Ryan got me this job, which I got 12 years ago, and I've stuck with.
So, like, what are you doing now?
I do soil and groundwater cleanup for it's a smaller company that we contract to larger companies, but basically we heat up the ground and steam out any contaminants by either electrical resistance or soil conduction, and just heat out any contaminants, suck it off, and burn it through a regenerative thermal oxidizer or run it through carbon to capture it, and all points in between. That's the quick and dirty of what we do. And if I have to go more in depth, it gets nerdy. What's that?
Yeah.
So yeah, you remember like PD 680 dry cleaning solvent?
Yeah.
one of the key components in that is like the main thing that we go after. So
Oh
and like
yeah,
once
so
I figured it out, I was just like, oh, I've had my hands in buckets of this.
yeah, like the grease that we used while we were in hazmat, like all of that causes testicular cancer. Everything, everything does.
Oh yeah. I don't
Oh
even
man.
want to know what's going to happen from like mixing together 63 for carbon fiber and stuff. It's just like,
Oh yeah.
like we knew we were
Yeah, it was
guinea
just.
pigs though. Like, it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
ah, eh.
Good times, good times. So yeah, so I got out in '09, shortly after you.
Mhm.
I oh you didn't know how I got out, huh?
Well, no, what happened?
So um service strike was what they called me because that's the only one I had. Uh yeah, so I went to check out on terminal leave and that last NJP I got, I can't remember when it was. It was right before I went to corrosion.
Hmm.
Okay, so right about that time frame. So I went to check out. I had all my gear. I was ready to go. I was gonna burn like 15 days worth of leave and get out. I go to legal, like my last couple of stops were right there in the squadron. So I go to legal to get, checked out and everything good to go.
Right.
They said, "Oh, okay, Bates, hold on. We got to make sure that we don't have any pending paperwork on you." And this is in 2009, in like May. And my EAS was June 6th, June 5th, and June 6th, right? So I was like, "All right, cool, no problem." So I forgot who the legal officer was. Anyway, he found something. He was like, "We were supposed to send this up when you got NJP last." And I'm like that many years ago? And he goes, "Yeah." I was like, okay, well, what is this going to do for my terminal? Like, what is this going to do for anything? And he goes, "Oh, probably nothing. It probably won't come back until you're already out on terminal and then we're good to go." I said, "Oh, okay." So signed it, sent it, came back the next day. I got kicked out.
What the fuck?
Yeah, got kicked right the fuck out. So everything was already checked out. I was like, screw this shit. So yeah, so on my DD 214, I got an other than with a good conduct medal. And then my entire enlistment was 5 years. I got like 4 months and 28 days, and or no, like it was 11 months and 28 days and some shit like that on my as far as time in service. So yeah, so I got this fucking. They're like, "Here's your shit, get out." I'm like, are you fucking serious? You guys couldn't have done this years and years ago.
Wait, wait,
So
wait. So
yeah,
you could have been kicked out like 2 years prior.
exactly, but they didn't.
That is wild.
Yeah,
Just because like
so
someone misplaced a paper.
pretty much, yeah,
What the fuck?
yeah. So here I am. Um, ready to rock and roll. I really didn't have any guidance getting out either. So it was kind of like I don't know what I'm gonna do. So
Dude, I had no idea what I
remember
was going to do either.
so that all happened, and then that threw a wrench in my shit because I was gonna get out. I thought I was gonna get out with at least an honorable, you know what I mean, or a
Uh-huh.
general. And no, that one piece of paper that they sent, fucking other than OTA. So I was like, well, screw that noise. So I get out and I just kind of swummed it around for like a week or whatever. Well, Roundtree was getting out at the same time. He had a job up at DynCorp up in Maryland. So
Okay.
he's like, "Yo, essentially be my Mexican, help me move all my shit. You can crash." I was like, "All right, deal." So I did that for, I don't know, maybe like 3 months. And then I ended up going back home to Texas for a little while. Yeah, I was distraught when I left.
I could definitely understand that.
It was like a complete waste of time. 5 years. But yeah, other than that, I had a good time with our non-deployable squadron.
Yeah. I know that feeling.
So that was good stuff, good stuff. So after that, back to Texas. I worked at an airport. I tried to get on with I think Boeing was doing it. There was an A864 reset right there on Fort Hood where they were doing they were working on Apache as well. DynCorp wasn't hiring Osprey mechanics, and then A864s weren't hiring Osprey mechanics because it's not a helicopter, which doesn't make sense to me.
I got hired on
So
by Dynacor on 47s, and the only reason that the guy hired me on was because he was a 46 dude from the Marines. He's just like, well, I was in the Marines too, so you know what? I like the cut of your jib. Like he talked to me like for 5 minutes on the phone.
yeah,
And because my
he's all
brother
like,
worked in that hangar in the Army. He's just like, you're Sam's brother? I'm like, yeah. It's like,
well, that worked out for you.
yeah, it did, but I'm just like, I don't like working on an Army base. I don't like it's literally all the same manuals, but with different names. So like the corrosion manual is the same manual with like a different name. So it's like TA something. I forget what it was. And I'm just like, no, it's the 509.
They're like, no, that's not it.
They're like,
And did
sir, we
they
do
ask you to
not
eat a
use
bunch
the
of
nav
crayons?
air here. I'm like, huh. And then like I was
You
so
find a bunch
like
of
used to the like our I forget the name of the system, but like you know how we did our maps and stuff, like the
mhm.
computerized maps, and theirs were all written out, and I'm like, I have no idea what any of these codes are, like how to find them. I'm like, I needed so much help just for like the paperwork. I'm like, can someone just do my paperwork for me, and I'll just like putz around with sheet metal and fiberglass.
What is it? Did we ever? I don't even think we ever used our the tough books that they gave us while we were there in 204.
I
Uh,
used it when I
like
went to airframes for a little bit, but that was
yeah.
about it.
How did you end up in corrosion?
I came right from the schoolhouse. I worked in airframes for like a week at VMX, and like it was known before we left the schoolhouse because like you remember Mayrand?
Sounds familiar.
He was a sergeant when I was in the schoolhouse and a staff sergeant when he came to the unit, and he was our instructor pretty much. So he was like dealing with my class like day to day, and like we were just messing around in the carbon fiber lab, and he just walked in one day and he just goes, I know who's gonna go to corrosion because like the shop was stacked with people. They're like they're gonna send somebody to corrosion, and I just looked at him and I just goes, does it rhyme with Bogostine? And everyone just starts dying of laughter. And like Faraball will bring that up to Zay. He just goes, hey, does it rhyme with Bogostine? And I go, oh yeah, it does. And like everyone laughed, and he's just like, yeah, it does actually. I'm like, so I knew I was going to corrosion because like they had to send somebody, so they sent the weird kid who was not good at it at maintenance. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. So like I was there from day one, or actually it was like day three because like I checked in, I went to airframes, I did like one thing there, and then next day it's like, hey, go report to Seese, and that's where you're going to be from now on.
Yeah, I think mine was that. See, that was they put a stigma on you like right out of the bat though, because like as soon as I went to CC, they're like, oh yeah, what they call it, like criminal control. I'm like, I didn't even do anything bad, not that bad.
Yeah, I was just
So
weird, and like none of the instructors at the schoolhouse like really liked me. Like,
I like you.
well, you weren't an instructor at the schoolhouse.
I know. Oh man, let's see who all came through the schoolhouse with me. These didn't come to the schoolhouse. And we had Cortez and Hawes and McGuckin. Remember McGuckin?
No.
Oh, they got booted out way early. So it was Flightline guy and an air crew. Um, he came in Fleming's class, but those two, uh, no, not Havis, Havis, Havis and McGuffin got busted in the parking lot, sparking J's.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, like right outside the turnstile. Like I don't know what their thought process was. All of a sudden they're like, we don't care about this anymore, and they just started to be Cheech and Chong in it. in the parking lot. And I'm like, well, that's kind of dumb. And then we had a random drug test, and they just hot. Well, of course,
Mm-hmm.
people saw you, smelled you. And then things would have been a lot different if we would have deployed them.
Yeah, but I don't know how much different. I mean, those people still would have like washed out.
Yeah, 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 definitely, definitely. But I wouldn't have had. So my thing was, I had too much time after work on my hands.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you would add.
And yeah,
Yeah, no, no. I think about that a lot. I'm like, man, if we would have been deployable, or like even on 46s or 53s.
yeah, anything but the 22. I mean, it's a cool bird.
It
Don't
is
get
a
me
great
wrong.
bird.
Oh, did you see? Oh, were you there? That I don't know. Remember when they brought out those the new weapons cases for the forward hellhole mounted weapon system that they had?
I did not get to see those. I've been told about them though. Run me through them
They
again
were it was
because I
on night.
love hearing them.
Yeah, it was on Night Crew, man. Like they were trying to be sneaky. Like, how are you gonna be sneaky? And I got to see it, and then somebody told me what it was, and I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, yeah. And then now I can pull it up online, and it's there, and I can see it. Yeah, it's put a what's it, a Gal 17
Yeah, so
in
that's what I
there?
heard. It's a
Yeah,
Gao something that drops out of the forward hellhole door. And then
yeah,
somebody told me the controller was a PlayStation controller.
that's exactly what it is. And you've got like a 10 and a half, 12-inch LCD screen.
Oh, that is wild. I didn't think that
Yeah,
was
dude,
true.
no,
I'm
it's
like,
totally true.
no,
It's
no, a
totally true.
PlayStation
It's so
controller?
awesome. Yeah, similar. I mean, it's Marine Corps controller,
Oh,
but
so
yeah,
it was like the same shape, but they like branded it different.
it's like there's probably no brand on it. It's, they
Someone
use
spray
alcohol
painted it
from
olive drab.
yeah, so they came with it with a tool tag, and they checked out some isopropyl and wiped off all the PlayStation.
Oh, that,
But yeah, so I heard it, I saw it, and then I'm able to see it online in action now. And I was like, that is awesome, and I got to not play with it.
kind of makes you wish you went aircrew.
Yeah, I was actually talking to a guy today, and he was like, "What do you?" I was like, "Yeah, man." I was like, "I should have went and did some cool stuff instead of just being a knuckle jogger." But still, I mean,
Yep. I mean, at the
oh,
same
he was
time, like
going,
somebody's got to fix Nixon's stripped screws.
"Oh my god, the mini marks
Yeah.
on the 365-day inspection." Jesus,
Oh my God.
what was the turnaround time on those? Like 2 days?
It was supposed to be something like 2 days, and we did it in a shift.
Yeah, we did it in I want to say a little under 12 hours. Just banged it right out.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like, it was supposed to be something ridiculous. Like, this is going to take like 2 days and like X amount of man hours. And we're like, at the end of the shift, we're like, done. Like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
hell yeah.
we're done.
We had a good crew.
Well, the thing
Yeah,
was,
we had a
is
good
like,
crew in TC.
I lined up, like, I knew which panels I could inspect, and I knew which panels that the QAs had to inspect. So
Yeah,
I knocked out all my panels first, and that's how we did it. And then we got everything ready for a QA to come through, and then the QA would look at it for us and be like, cool. And then, yeah, buttoned it all back up, and that was that.
it's good times. Huh. We had a problem, but I think we were organized. I think we communicated well with each other.
We did. We did. I feel like on night crew, the three of us were pretty tight.
Yeah, my crew was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I never wanted to go back to dates. Never.
Yeah, there was far less I buy you fly, go to Taco Bell going on during day crew.
Yeah, there was none of that. Oh, what about those big pizzas? Where was that pizza place that was on base?
Noble Romans was on base.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, there was a Noble Romans on base, And then the big pizza place was Monster Pizza. Then they shut down
That's
and it
it.
became a Slice of New York pizzeria where you remember Malashevsky from Airframes?
Yes,
His brother was the one that opened that.
Monster Pizza. I remember hitting them up
I
on the
remember the
weekend.
first
And they're
time
like,
I ordered Monster Pizza, I was in MCT. It was amazing. I'm like, I want the largest pizza you guys have.
you were an MCT over there in Geiger, weren't you?
I'm an East Coast guy.
That's right. That's right. So I had so much trouble going to the PX in my flight suit on the weekend.
You get saluted.
Yeah, because but I didn't have like if you saw my name tag, like I had a no shit Lance Cooley from MCT try to POA my ass outside the PX.
What?
Yeah, I'm like what? And he was like, yeah, doubled off, and I'm like, no. I was like, are you?
Fuck
What are
yourself,
you?
boo.
Because yeah, I was like, oh man, I didn't. It was one of those things where you just couldn't help but laugh. Like this kid's being serious. And he's like, come here, private, and I'm like, whoa, look, nobody calls me that. And they're like, oh, I still got my name tag somewhere. It says private major. I have it somewhere. I think it's on my rifle case. But yeah, I
Nice.
always have problems. So I just stopped going on Sunday.
You know, you could just go in civilian clothes.
I was at I was at work, and
Oh, okay.
I kind of liked causing a problem there.
Yeah, who doesn't?
You watch the little Lance Corporal's fuzzy heads explode. It's like when they try to come in without a tool tag. You remember?
Oh, yeah. Hey, I just need to borrow
No
this real
private
quick.
space.
No, I need a tool tag. But I just need it real quick. I don't care how quick you need it. I need a tool tag.
Well, yeah. I don't think you were there that day. Hawes was there. Hawes was like, he was. I think he was the only one. There was just me and him, and I was running the desk. And he was like, it was some new aircrew guy came in without a tool tag. I was like, you need a tool tag, bro. And he was like, no, private, you're gonna give it to me. And I was like, no, you need a tool tag. You're supposed to get a tool tag. And I was being all nice. And Hoss was like, call him up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like to watch their fuzzy heads explode when I tell them no, sir.
Fuck yeah.
Good stuff. I think that was the funnest part was I had responsibility, but none.
I think
Oh,
one of my favorite parts was just how much good natured violence was encouraged.
yeah, I remember that too. Like
It
I
wasn't,
didn't
as
like I
long as it wasn't malicious, it was encouraged.
yeah, yeah, it was encouraged. Like, I mean, it was like a rite of passage. Like,
Yeah.
it wouldn't even, you couldn't even consider it hazy. It was like just boys doing boy stuff.
Yeah. Like I said, like if it was good natured, it was fine. As soon as it crossed that line into malicious, like then it was just
Mhm.
like, all right, you two like need to knock it the fuck off and tell me what the hell's going on.
Yeah, yeah, we had a tap out rule.
Yeah,
That's, you know, gentlemen's, gentlemen's agreement.
pretty much.
There was no rank involved, you know?
If things got bad, everyone got barnyarded and you got separate
Oh,
corners.
God.
Oh fuck.
I remember those.
Yeah.
I think I did that one time. It was amazing. Like I wanted to call Leroy Hoss and be like, guess what I just did? And this was like 5 years after I've already been out. Like it was that amazing. I was like, whoa! Like it went in slow motion too. Let me tell you. So
Were you having like a
I've been
Rocky
barnyard.
montage moment? Like, I did it. Hey, Adrian. Except you're
Yeah.
thinking, hey, Sergeant Hawes.
Hey, no, it's like, hey, Leroy. But I remember him doing it to me, and there's like nothing you can do.
Yeah.
It's like I'm flying through the air right now. This is not good.
I was just about to say that was one of your favorite quotes.
That's exact. But it was always great. I am a better person today
Because I've
because
taken
of the
cement to
barnyard.
the face.
Exactly. A couple of times. Couple of times. Man, good day. So
Yeah.
let's see what else did I see. I got out in '09. We talked about that. Oh, so I worked at an airport
Hmm.
in McGregor, Texas. Um, I was was a flightline guy there, and civilian flightline and military flightline are two different things.
Okay.
So it was a private, like it wasn't a private airport, but it was a small airport for people with private planes. So essentially, what I did was refuel like Cessnas and like Jetstreams or Gulfstreams, not Jetstreams, Gulfstreams, and we did have some AH-64s come through, some longbows,
Hmm.
and they were sweet. So you got to do that. But that lasted for like all of 6 or 7 months before the airport started to downsize because people stopped flying their own airplanes. And then from there, I got into the water wastewater biz with the city.
Nice.
Yeah, so I did that, and then I got bored. Did you know that I'm a certified Harley mechanic?
No, I did not.
Yeah, so when I got kicked out, I lost all benefits, everything.
Okay.
Yeah, it said everything. So I went to work for the city. It started to get boring, a lot of boring. So I was, just digging ditches and putting water pipe in and stuff like that. Um, and then I was like, this sucks. So it was like Facebook was listening to me. It was like, yo, come to MMI and learn how to work on motorcycles. It was like, that sounds like a great idea.
Yes,
So I did that. Went to Arizona. Apparently, Arizona's like riding weather 90% of the time.
I
So
believe it.
yeah, they sell you these big hopes and dreams. They're like, yeah, you can totally, we'll help you find a job and this and that and the other. Well, it's just like a recruiter. So the market in Arizona, as far as mechanics go, is so flooded with people going through these motorcycle mechanic institutes that, I mean, there's little to no nothing. And then I found out that they had no real benefits as far as like healthcare and all that good stuff. Like when you start kind of wrenches, and that you get paid flat rate. So it's like basically using the technical hubs and whatever the time frame this master mechanic did this in and put it in the book as, that's what you get paid for. So like a tire change will be like 2 hours. So whether it takes you 30 minutes or 4 hours, you still get paid for just the 2 hours. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So once I found that out, I was like, eh. And I had just come from working for a city, so I was getting city benefits and all that good stuff, and I kind of like that. So I was like, well, I'll go back to work for the city. So then I did that for this one stint. Oh man, I I just remembered I had actually seen illegals crossing the border on a train that I was a conductor on.
Get out. No.
Yes. So yeah, so I was
Oh,
working for Glendale. I was working for Glendale, and it's a little subdivision or subsidy from Phoenix. And my buddy, my buddy down in Texas that I was working water utility with, he left and went to Union Pacific. Not Union Pacific. Yeah, Union Pacific. And he works track maintenance there. So he kept trying to tell me, hey, come back to Texas, I'll get you a job on the railroad. You should look at the railroad. It's so awesome, so awesome, so awesome. I was like, all right, cool. So I looked. Well, I got a conductor gig coming out of Tucson, going to Nogales and to Yuma. Who did I see in Yuma? Dwyer. You remember Dwyer?
vaguely. I remember the name.
Kentucky Dwyer, like white boy Dwyer.
Ah, the
He
name I
was
can't
in
put a face
collision with
to.
it. Oh my goodness! If you saw him, you would know exactly who I was talking about. So he hit me up. While I was in Arizona, and he was like, "You'll come and hang out with me in Yuma." Oh my God, what's another story? Anyway, so I got hooked up as a conductor with Union Pacific, and we're running trains and doing this and that and the other. So I get pulled to pull this train out of Nogales back to Tucson. I've never done this before. It's my first run, so I'm like a junior conductor. So it's me, another conductor that's senior, and then the engineer, the guy driving the train. So we're not allowed to cross the border. They're not allowed to cross the border. So they nose the main engine across the border. The gate, there's border patrol everywhere. It's crazy. And so once they nose it, they get off of the back. We get on the front, and then we wait for 75,000 hours. And then finally they're like, yeah, you can go. So then we start pulling, right? So we start pulling, and then we lose cars on the Mexico side. So they just come unattached from the train. So we lose the car, so then we got to stop. So then they fix it. So it's another 2 to 3 hours. I'm getting paid this whole time for it. Like the railroad, they will just dump money in your pocket as long as you show up and do what you're supposed to do safely.
Okay.
Like guaranteed. So that part was true. Like I made like good money, but the work wasn't steady.
Okay.
So we get the train back together. We're pulling it across the border. We get it out of Mexico. It's like a 2.5 mile long train. Get out of Mexico. We go through this. It's like an X-ray machine, but it's just like outside. It looks like a big bus stop. Is like the best way I can describe it. It's just like a half of a tin building. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
And so we pull it through there. We're going, we're going, we're going. And they don't call them illegals, and they don't call them Mexicans. They call them trespassers. So we're going. It's starting to get dark, and we didn't even know this, but they had a chopper on us with infrared, and they were picking up heat signatures in some of the cars way back there at the back of the train. So they call us on the radio. The Union Pacific Police calls on the radio, and they're like, "Hey, what's your next crossing?" So we tell them when we're going to cross another road, what road it is, so on and so forth. And he's like, yeah, just go ahead and stop it there. And I'm like, okay. Engineer, conductor, we get ready to stop it there. We start shutting it down. The UP cop pulls up to my window and he goes, yeah, Border Patrol says if you had some trespassers on the train. Well, as soon as he said that, 5 Border Patrol trucks just zoomed the freaking train, dude. Like just driving through ditches, the whole 9 yards.
Nice.
Helicopter up above us. Yeah, it was crazy. So they were so far back that I couldn't see any Mexicans running away. But it was pretty awesome. So he was telling us, the cop was telling us that they will sometimes get into the auto wrecks. Essentially, they're the train cars that hold all the automobiles that are
Mhm.
coming up out of Mexico. And they'll
Right.
get in there and they'll hide in there, or they'll hide in the empty grain cars, or they'll hide in full grain cars, and they'll have like bags of like Fanta sodas and like tuckers and shit like that, and they'll carry it up in there. It was crazy, but that only lasted for like 6 months. So I went to work back to the city.
So once again, back to the city then.
Yeah, back to the city. I did a different thing, working for a smaller city in the desert. You would think that it's like magical if you bring water to people in a network of pipes and things, and then you have to treat it and all that good stuff. But it wasn't super glamorous. There's some pretty crazy leaks and things like that. So I did wastewater treatment, transferred over to wastewater treatment. And what we would do is we would take the wastewater from the city and we would reclaim water out of it. So basically dewater it. It's like what do they call it? It's a sequencing batch reactor. So what we would do was we would get all the waste and put it in a big like container, essentially a big holding tank. All the sewer would come in, mix all up, and then we hit it with like air. Like it's a whole big technical system. And then we would turn all the mixers off, turn all the air off, and then the microorganisms that were living inside the sewage would start to eat all the bacteria and all the bad stuff out of there, and they would settle to the bottom of this tank. And then we'd come in with this big it was all automatic. I didn't have to physically go in there with this with this decant arm and then decant all the clean water off the top. And then we would treat that and then put in there to reclaim water. So that was pretty cool. I like that. It was a little bit more technical, a little bit more using your brain instead of your back as far as work goes.
Oh, that is always good.
Yeah, and then we were reclaiming water, but we had a contract with the golf course for like a bazillion years. So all the reclaimed water went straight to their water hazard. So it wasn't like we could put it back into the system or anything else. I think like a couple more steps and we could have actually put it back into the water utility system. So like it doesn't sound awesome because you're essentially you get down to the minutia of it. You're drinking poop water that's been recycled, but it's clean. They're cleaner than what's coming out of the rivers and lakes and streams. So yeah, so I did that in Cave Creek. Oh man, I forgot to tell you. I worked at a bar. I was a bouncer for like a hot minute while I was in school there.
Oh, I was a bartender while I was trying to go through college. That was not a good mix.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can bartend. Actually, that's where my wife taught me. I was working at called the Steel Horse Saloon right there in Phoenix, and I think it was like an H8 bar, maybe. I'm not sure. I didn't see too many coming in and out of there, but I was a bar back slash bouncer, and I have to tell you, I never had an issue with the dudes in that bar. Never
Okay.
had an issue at all. But the chicks, when the chicks get crazy and wasted, oh my god, they are ridiculous. They
Uh,
will fight you. Doesn't matter who you are.
that sounds about right.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. That's where I met my buddy Josh. Josh is in this. He's in the Marine too, but he was West Coast 90% of his enlistment. But yeah, he was in school with me, and we both worked there. So I mean, we just had a good old time all the time. It was you know stock beer, dance with some old ladies because they like a bus or something, and then they give us some money. I think I was a prostitute. Holy shit!
No, 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 no. You got to spin it
Yeah.
correctly. You were, I believe it's positively called a sex worker now.
Oh no no. I no because that still sounds dirty. I was a self esteem booster for
You,
that.
you were a gigolo.
Uh,
Emphasis was on the
no,
jiggle and the
it was
low.
like I don't. Cause don't you have to like do the act to be the gigolo?
I think so.
Or I could have just been like advertising, but not. Does that make sense? Yeah, I was
Maybe
a
you were a
team.
psychological gigolo because you were helping them feel good about themselves.
Yes, that could be
S-
better.
Lee Bates,
I'm a
psychological gigolo.
I'm a mental sex worker.
Yes.
But
Yeah, for
I like
people
it.
whose stuff doesn't work anymore, you make them in their mind.
Yeah, it's like reading romance novels, but I'm in front of you.
Oh, so you're like the half Texas, half Mexican Fabio?
Yeah, I'm a text message. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think that. Yeah, yeah. We could do the boss
Except
as
instead
it
of the
work.
blonde hair blowing in the breeze, it's your beard.
It's my beard. I
Yeah,
didn't have that when you saw me, so it's beautiful. It's got gray hair in it now.
I do too. So, I mean, yeah.
Have you seen Gunny? You remember Gunny Lally?
You should probably talk to Stumba if you want to hear some amazing stories about Lolly.
Dude, I knew he got out, and
Mm-hmm.
then I didn't see or hear from him or anything, and then now he's all over the face space, and he's got so much beard and hair, like that man. You would have never thought. I would have never thought.
Um, no, I saw that one coming. Well, maybe I didn't
Oh,
see it
you did?
coming, but like he, I don't remember when he got out, but it was before us, or maybe it was around the same time
Yeah.
as me and Ryan, at least. Because Ryan worked for him in Phase Crew, and
Yeah. They,
so like they started hanging out a bit after like we were all out, and I will let you talk to Ryan about that because it's his story and I don't remember all of it. By the way, Ryan says hi and he wanted to be on this this podcast call.
oh, he did?
He's like,
Dumba.
he's like, damn it, what are you guys doing? I'm like, either today or tomorrow, and he's just like, fuck, I hope it's tomorrow.
Oh man, you should have said something. I would have held off for Dumba.
Well, that just means we can do it again we can do another one another time. Like, but
Yeah, yeah, we can.
he's super fucking busy. He's running a plumbing place now.
Really?
Yeah, so he was running Roto-Rooter, and now he's working for this other place called True Blue. He lives down in Wilmington. So
What is he?
he's a master plumber. He's a North Carolina licensed plumber.
Nice, nice.
And
So
he's
yeah, that brings me
running
to,
a fucking place, making bank.
so that brings me to my next point. So me and the wife started looking for a house. Couldn't find one in Phoenix cheap enough. Found one in Wisconsin. I was like, let me find a job there. So I found a job here. So I work for a company called Digested Organics now, and I am a facilities manager, the only person working there right now at the facility that I'm working at. And we are dewatering uh, whey processing waste. So
Right.
essentially,
So
what
you're
I'm
selling it to
yeah. So
protein powder companies then?
no. We're in a protein processing place, and what we're doing is we're taking all the waste that they have, and we run it through our system, and we pull out the clean water. We almost like super concentrate, or we concentrate their stuff. Uh,
Yeah, I
that's how it is.
understand how like so there's the milk and then they add the rennet to separate the curds from the whey. So the curds become the cheese. The whey is the
Hmm.
water byproduct.
Hmm.
Whey is what they use protein powder for. And so you're like concentrating that down, getting the water out and separating the whey into a dry powder from the water.
No, so I'm taking their waste. So they do all that processing in the plant, but they have a waste product. So what they do with their waste product is they have to have a certain uh, like there's got to be a certain percentage of water in the product that they're wasting out. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's got to flow, and solids don't flow.
Yep.
So yeah, so this is where my wastewater background came in. So essentially, what we're doing is we're running it through a bunch of filters, so there's no chemical. So it's reclaimed water, sort of like what I was doing with the treatment of the wastewater, but there's no chemical involved in it. It's just filtration.
Hmm.
So we run it through our filters, and we pull out clean water by the gallon. So this is a new thing for my company. What we normally do, or what I got signed up to do, started to do before this happened, um, we were taking slurry mix from the dairy farms, all the slurry, all the cow manure and piss and shit and all that good stuff,
Oh, fantastic.
running it. Yeah, we were running it through our system, pulling out all the water. Uh, we would get a high concentrated nitrogen liquid fertilizer and a high concentrated solid fertilizer and clean water.
Nice.
No more waste. So that's what we're doing. So BCO. So if you look, if you're in front of your computer right now, you could probably look it up. Brown County, they've got in Greenleaf, Wisconsin, they have a big biodigester where they harvest the methane off of it. So our equipment is there too. So we're doing the same thing with their digestate. So all the farmers in the area will pump all their cow manure, cow waste to these big digester tanks. They would harvest off the methane and then take whatever left of the digestate, and then would run it through our equipment, and then boom, get the same thing. So you go from all this manure and all this cow crap to usable energy and clean water and fertilizer. Get back to Mother Earth.
That is fucking awesome.
So that's what sold me on the company. So with that being said, they kind of honey dick me. They're like, this is what we do. I'm like, that's awesome. And then they're like, but you're going to be over here at this other plant. And I was like, I can probably do that. But they didn't tell me that this is brand new. Like, we're just going to try it out. So, but it's working. I've been there. I've touched every pump in our system. I've gotten intimate with them, Augie, with all the pumps. Very intimate.
You've had your hand
When you
inside
saw
them
the
with or without a glove.
Oh man, sometimes you got to go in without. It's just one of those things.
I understand that.
But But I think I sent you a picture of the pulp I was in the other day.
You did. You did. I went, oh, that's some nice looking cheese.
That's the way byproduct. So when it gets super hot and mixed up, it turns back into cheese. Yeah, and then it messes with all my equipment. But it's fascinating work because I like I like the fact that we're taking the water. So looking at wastewater stuff, your regular sewer water that you flush out of your house is like 99% water.
Yes.
It's like 0.1% solid.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can get that 0.1% solid out, then you've just got a liquid that you've got to treat, and then you can put back into the system. And the system being the world, I guess.
Yes.
So what Digestive Organics does with cow manure and slurry mix essentially is the same thing, but on a much broader scale, and you get the byproduct of it. So like as soon as I can get some, I'm growing bonsai trees right now in my office. So as soon
Nice.
as I can get my hands on some of their liquid fertilizer, I'm going to start dosing my plants or my trees and see how well they act. But yeah, we were
Well, aren't bonsai
even big.
trees like kind of relegated to how big of a pot they're in to how big they'll actually get? Or is that
No, you have to train them. So you have to cut and wire and train them to grow. I've been reading up on this for like 2 months now because I was like, oh, that looks like a cool thing for me to do.
are you turning into Mr.
But
Miyagi?
no, not quite, not quite. But I got some seedlings going, and but these seedlings you can kind of train them to do like the twists and the turns and the loopy loops of the trunk. And
Mm.
yeah, so a whole process. It's a whole process. It takes forever because they're trees. You have to grow them. But yeah, at one point in time, I will be another Mr. Miyagi, but not right now.
So you're gonna have a headband on while you're at work?
I
Come
do. I
on.
have long hair now.
Oh,
I do. I
sweet.
have long. I have long hair now,
Yes.
so I have to, or I do the samurai knot on the top.
I was more envisioning you like with, because I've seen the picture of your beard, so I was kind of envisioning you kind of looking like Chong with the long hair, like slicked back and like a headband on and the beard.
I have. My wife hates me because I'll steal her little headbands, the ones that just push your hair back. So I'm
Yes.
always wearing a hat or I've got something on to keep the hair out of my face. But I like my long hair. Like it just, I feels good when I Fabio this thing in the wind here in Wisconsin.
Oh, so you are
But
Fabio.
yeah, he's just like the brown
Fabio,
person.
psychological gigolo.
Psychological. I think I'm gonna use that. We could
Write it
corner the
down so we
market.
don't forget it. We're gonna forget this one.
No, it's recorded.
Damn it. Yeah, but I gotta like write like a little blurb about you.
A little blur.
I gotta write a little
Psychological.
blurb, like a summary, like about this for the podcast, and be like, Lee
What did
Bates
I
is a
ask the
man
other
of
day?
many talents, motorcycle mechanic, and psychological gigolo. Like I have to like write something down.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. I'm gonna write it down too.
Stumba
I was
actually
thinking,
reads them too, so like I have to.
does it?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's good. So yeah, so that's where I'm married now for the third time.
Yes, I did know that.
Yeah, so now I've got three munchkins, little cutie. I'm actually looking at a picture of them right now. They're kind of cool.
The kids
They're
are
very
kind of cool.
demanding. Yeah, they're very demanding.
How old are your kids?
So Lady May is my youngest, and she came out ginger with blue eyes. So she's the bossiest. She'll be three at the
I've
end of this
heard
month.
that gingers don't have a soul. Is this true?
No, this one, no, she's got like 17 of them.
Whoa.
She started collecting early.
Wait, wait,
She
wait.
thinks she's got mine.
She collects souls?
I'm pretty sure she does.
So is this because she doesn't have one of her own?
Oh no, she's got one. She's hilarious. She has to have a soul. She sings blues,
Oh, okay.
so she's
Whoa.
got a little soul.
Huh.
Yeah, I think she's got one. She
This
has
is
to have one.
making me rethink everything I've ever known.
Yeah, I thought it was like one freckle equals a soul that you've collected. Right? That makes sense.
I've never heard that one before, but I like it.
Never? You've never heard that?
I've never. I have a very sheltered life up here in the north, away from anything that's fun or awesome.
I'm north too. Like I went from real Mexican food to this.
Yeah, but like I live in by Lake Erie near Buffalo. Like that, it's not. That's not the
Mm.
fun north. Like we have Mexican food, but there's more Puerto Ricans than anything. So we have really good Puerto Rican food. There's one bomb ass Mexican place in my town now, and then there's another so-so one. But yeah, no. If you want good Mexican food, you have to like channel your inner Sergeant Rizzo and like make it yourself.
Oh, dude, I remember Rizzo. He
Dude,
was
you
only there
remember?
for like a short time though.
He was there for
Oh man,
well, he was there for a while with me though, so think I got to know him better. Did you ever go to his house for a UFC and he just the only thing he would make is rice and beans?
mm, I want to say I did because I met his wife
Yes.
and they were cool as shit. They were like the coolest people I had ever met
Hmm.
in my entire life. Like aside from you guys, but like I just like that's the memory. Like when you say Sergeant Riz, I'm like, oh, that's the coolest motherfucker ever.
Oh, he is the coolest motherfucker ever. I need to like track him down. Last I knew, he was in Florida somewhere.
Yeah. Wow, damn, yeah, he was only. I was only. I think he was on his way out when I showed up. Right?
Probably Nixon was there before you, right?
Yeah, and I think Nixon just lived in CC. Like I didn't even. I knew Nixon existed, like, but it was like a Bigfoot thing. Like nobody had seen him
Yeah,
until I went to CC, and then I was like, here he is.
Nixon and Rizzo were because Rizzo loved everyone and like he would show you anything and he would like try his hardest to get you to understand anything if you didn't understand it or just and just be cool with everyone too and uh so like it was like the first person that like didn't treat Nixon like Nixon like the mess up that he was
Oh,
75% of the time.
well,
And like I
well
learned
that's
that
good.
from Rizzo, which is why Nixon ended up liking me too. And I'm like, that is a
Yeah,
handy
I
skill to
kicked it.
have.
Yeah, I kicked it with Nixon. I don't think I was rough on him. I think he had a dirty fingernail that I couldn't stand. But other than that, I thought Nixon was a cool dude.
He was a cool dude. We did you ever come to my and Ryan's like garage bar
No, I don't think
when
I
we lived out
did.
on town? We brought Nixon. So me and Hodge just like called Nixon one day and we're just like, hey Nixon, we're coming to pick you up. You're coming to Augie's house and you're coming to the bar and you're drinking with us. And he's just like, but I don't drink beer. I'm like, it's okay. We got liquor. He's just like, but what if you don't have any liquor that I like? And I'm just like, trust me, we got something for you. And then
Dude,
like,
so
dude, by the end of
yeah.
the night, it was literally, I was so drunk. I was holding onto the grass because I was trying to not fall off the earth. Literally. Like this happened. And Hawes is just like, oh crap, not again. What an idiot. And so like he like Captain Morgan's one leg onto me and be like, you're not going to fall. You're not going to fall. And so Nixon thinks I'm being attacked. He's like, don't hurt Corporal Augie. And it's just like drunken, like half just like, get. And Hawes just like, get away from me. And just like pushes him over.
Oh, he was there to save you.
No,
Oh man, I
Nixon,
always thought he was smart, man. He was smart. He was
he was smart. But he got overwhelmed when things
yeah,
didn't start going the way they were supposed to.
yeah. He was aircrew.
He was aircrew, yes. And he was a PT stud too. Like, no, he
Yeah,
wanted nothing more than to make a career out of the Marines.
yeah, he did. He was a cool cat, man. I like kind of hanging. Like I try to hang out with him too, but he's real. I don't
Have
want
you?
to say reclusive, but he was like his own. You know what I mean? Like that's where his comfort zone was.
He had his crew that he ran with outside of work, and got along with him great, and they did their thing, and he did wild stuff with them. But a
Yeah,
lot of it revolved around Dungeons and Dragons. Not kidding.
that's funny because I've been trying to play Dungeons and Dragons for like 3 months now. I finally got a crew.
Really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know
before I
why.
got divorced, I had like a guy move in a few houses down, and like he was friends with another guy that I knew, and I knew they played Dungeons and Dragons together, and I was like, I'm gonna get in on Dungeons and Dragons with them, and then I ended up getting divorced,
No,
and I moved out of that neighborhood, and I'm just like, guess I'm not playing Dungeons and Dragons.
yeah. So I met up with. I didn't meet up. We're gonna do it virtual, but yeah. So I got a crew now, and they're kind of walking me through it. They're like, yeah. So how long have you been playing? I was like, yo, you guys are about to pop my D&D cherry right now. Let's do it. And they're like, okay. Oh, one of the guys is in the Space Force. That's a real thing.
That's still wild to me. They split off a branch from the Air Force.
So it's like a department of the Navy, but only from the Air Force.
No, no, no. If you think about it like this, the Air Force was split off of the Army. The Space Force was split off of the Air Force.
It's like third and fourth cousins.
Yeah, they're like the grandson of the Army.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah,
Yeah, like that's the
I'm
best way
drawing
I
it.
can explain it. I'm like, there's a family tree
I'm
there.
drawing. I'm drawing this family tree in my brain, and they're just like way off here all by themselves. But yeah, so I saw a flag the other day. Where was it? Over like a veterans museum or whatever, and you recognize all the military flags, and then they had this weird looking one, and I'm like, what is that? So I looked it up, and it was Space Force, and I was like, who the hell I thought it was a joke. Nope, it's a real thing. They do cybersecurity, so computer wizards.
Yep,
I
Space
was like, huh.
Command. So like they're in charge of the satellites and like the getting the satellites up there, just stuff like that. Like until we start putting sharks with laser beams on their head up in space to take care of the other people's satellites. Like, I guess that's what they're doing.
I saw saw something on the interwebs the other day about space music.
What'd you
Oh
see?
man. Well, it was basically just what is it, like a meme? That's how you say it. I don't know how the kids say it
I
nowadays.
say it like that,
But
so that's what we're going with.
yeah, so like a meme, and it was like Space Marines. How long is it going to be till they're like, let's fuck it, and they meet an alien or whatever, and I'm like, that's kind of true.
Yeah, yeah.
Psychological difficulties.
No, Space Marines will be the first ones to fuck an alien, whether the alien wants
Yeah,
it or
no,
not.
yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Actually, I probably shouldn't say that the Marines will rape an alien. That's probably looks
They're not.
bad
I mean,
on the Marine Corps.
no, they're not going to. They have consent forms that they will have to fill out. That's going to be a thing.
More
They'll
accurately, I
ask
think
it.
the alien will rape the Marines.
But here's the problem. Will he like it?
Here's the question. Do you think the alien has tentacles and will take on like a squad of Marines at once? Sexually.
Now you're going straight hentai with our brothers and sisters, and I don't know if I like this.
What if they like it though?
Then I guess it's okay, right?
Yeah.
Now I've got Jesus.
I mean, would you rather like a squad of Marines goes bukkake on an alien with tentacles?
Yeah, I think that would be better. That would be more motivation. Can you see that in the recruiter's office right there?
The few, the proud, the Marines. Yeah, I don't think they'd use
What are
that
you
as
doing
a.
with your life? That's a good. Yeah, fuck, I've joined.
Oh, dude, that'd be like the Lava Monster commercial all over again.
Oh my God. Do you? I think there is. I think there's a shortage of double dogs nowadays because I keep seeing billboards. Like I drive down to Fond du Lac. It's like 45-minute ride,
Hmm.
and so I'm driving down and I see all these billboards, and it's I guess the new one is like there's no battle lost or something. It's only
Battles are
Really the
won
billboard
within
said.
or something. I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, something like that. Or they show that one dude, and it looks like he's in basic, um, right there in Paris Island because there's pine trees and shit, and he's like doing the obstacle course in his camis, and he's all muddy, and he's on the billboard. Oh man, that battles are won within, or there's no what was it? They were on a boat. It was like air crew guys on a boat, but it was marine billboard. But I keep seeing them, and like every other day or every other week, they'll change, and then there'll be more billboards with marine shit on it. And then I'm like, huh, I wonder if there. I was gonna ask somebody, but you're the only one I can ask. Is there a shortage?
I'm really not sure.
It's just like they're putting some money into some advertising. Like I guarantee it, there's gotta be.
I mean,
Oh, you know what? I know exactly what it is.
they're not letting
Wisconsin's the
people kill
drunkest
people
state.
anymore.
Well, Wisconsin is the drunkest state, and what's the prerequisite for being a Marine?
Yeah, you're right.
I
You
think
got
that's
your
right.
choice of three types of Marines. You got your drunk Marines, you got your Texas Marines, and then you got the people from the city where it's like, what's your skill?
Yeah,
Being
that's
from New York
exactly it.
City is not a skill.
No, I think it would be a skill. New York City's pretty rough.
Well, depending on what it is that you did when you lived and grew up in New York City. Because, I mean,
Yeah,
there was a few of them that
yeah,
were
like
cool. I think Rogers was his last name. He was pretty cool.
who was the guy with the mountain bike?
Wait, what?
There was a guy in our squadron and on a mountain bike. He was from New York.
I don't remember.
I don't know. He was an airframer. Had to been.
What do you mean an
But you
airframer
could always
had to have been on a mountain bike?
well because you know. I mean, come on. Let's look at it logically for a second here. So
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
you
whoa,
are
whoa.
an airframer.
Logically, the nerds were Avi.
Well, yeah, you can tell an AVI guy from a mile away, right?
Right?
All right, and you can tell a flightliner from an airframer, correct?
Well, yeah, because we're prettier.
All right, and then you can we'll leave that up.
I said
That's your
pretty.
opinion. Oh, yeah, but I'm pretty.
Yeah, no, but we have like, like better taking care of fingernails and like we put the product in the hair, like it's wind swept when we
Oh,
take our cranial off. Like, like we care. Like we moisturize.
okay. All right. All right. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Like
All right.
we're the pretty boys of
So
the squadron. We are
I
like
thought
you
Fly
guys
E
have
was.
that like that rough, like masculine, like oil rig worker thing with like the
Like
grease behind the
we're here to pull
knees
the
where it's
steer
just
box.
like, how did you get grease there?
I was in the cell dropping an engine.
Sorry, I broke this bolt. Like it only turns one direction. How'd you break it? It didn't want to go
That's not
far
funny
enough. Did you cross thread it too?
because that's funny. Sorry, that's funny because I did that yesterday on our machine that we're working on. I told him I was like, hey, they give me schedule 80 pipe with plastic flanges on there, and we're bolting it up to stainless steel. And I'm like, this isn't going to work. I was like, what's the torque spec? They're like, oh man, it's foot-pounds, but it's like 20 to like 25 foot-pounds. And I'm like with a 3/8 ratchet, dude, just breaking them left and right. They're like, how many Ugga did you put? I was like, I didn't even get to the on the Ugga. It just broke. But I
Nice.
get it. I'm picking up what you're laying down.
So what you're saying
Uh,
is that the flightline jokes are true.
some of them. I'll take some of them.
Yeah, I know.
From an airframer. From an airframer, yes, all of them. From an airframer.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. You guys are prettier, yeah,
We
with your moisturized skin and your coiffed hair.
fuck yeah. And there's no shame in that. We're very proud of it.
Mm.
The fact is,
Yeah.
like, if you don't look good being an airframer, they do like things like fap you out up to like the front gate.
Oh man,
Yeah, they'll make you a gate
that's
guard.
horrible.
Like, I got it easy. I
Horrible.
only went to corrosion control. They're like, hell, I mean, we got to get rid of those
Dude,
glasses and you got to start moisturizing better, and then we'll let you back in.
I don't think so, man. I don't think that's right. 'Cause you remember Sergeant Rad?
Vaguely?
Like just like fitness model Sergeant Rattler. He was a flightliner.
Oh,
and
yeah, I do
he
remember him.
moisturized. Yeah,
He moisturized.
he moisturized. He definitely is not a airframer at all.
Listen,
I
I
think he
didn't
did
say
it
we
in-
had 100% of them. I'm saying like on average, like you put
Um,
like you take 5 airframers and you stand them next to 5 flightliners. Like just think about it. Like just take the average of that 10 and you tell me which one's the flightliners, which ones are the airframers. Can you do it just by looking at facial skin and hair gel?
yeah, I probably could. I probably could. Although hair gel could have been maintenance control too. You know, I think everybody in there is hair gel.
I'm just saying, like, who was it? Benavidez? Benavidez could have been an airframer. He had the look for it.
Yeah,
Was that
the
his name?
airframer. I think I don't know. It's been years.
Oh, man.
Oh man, that's right. So check this shit. We were talking about Seese earlier. So I went to Minnesota from Arizona to pick up with I would say my wife's mother's boyfriend. Right, we tracking.
Got it. Got it.
So he bought a bus, like like a motorhome bus, like the '60s models. Like is it like a Winnebago? But they made it out of a school bus. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Running and driving. So he bought it on an auction and they had it in Minnesota. So we flew up to pick it up. Okay. We
Right.
get in this bus and we start driving it back to AZ. We start having problems with this motor. And we're outside of Kansas City, Missouri. So
Nice.
this motherfucker came in so clutch, dude. Steve, I gotta just give him props, dude. I hadn't talked to him in years. I
You
found
should
him
get a
on
hold of him.
Facebook where I did. I texted him on Facebook when we were breaking down, coming through his gate. He was like, "Yeah, dude, just pulled up to the shop." I'm like, "For real?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll come and pick you guys up at the machine shop, at his dad's machine shop."
Right.
Well, he came in so clutch that day. Like, hadn't talked to him in years. And then took us back to his place, man. We drank some beers, reminisced about some good old times and stuff like that. And then we had to get on the plane the next morning and leave. But yeah, man, like out of nowhere, like when people say, you know, in the military, you're going to make, you know, the best friends you've ever had. I'll tell you what, yeah, that is core hard truth.
So
Like this
I have a
cold,
random
cold
Seese
call.
story also running into him after the Marine Corps. So it was probably like my 3rd or 4th month with this company, so like 12 years ago. And they send me they're just like, they need help out in Springfield, Missouri at this site, just randomly for like 1 week. So you're going out there because you're the new guy and you're going to learn and they need your strong back and your weak mind. And I'm like, got it.
Airframe.
Airframer with a strong back and a weak mind. I'm like, yes, that's me now. So I'm good looking and I get to tell people that I can do flightline things.
At least you look good. I mean,
Hey man, I'll take it. And then, so like, I'm working out there, just doing whatever. And like the hotel is like a mile down the road from the site. That's probably not important. So I go to the hotel and I pull into the parking lot and I see a very familiar looking Chevy muscle car. I forget what he has.
Chevelle.
Yeah, the Chevelle, that black Chevelle. I'm like,
It's Chevelle.
I see that a very familiar looking Chevelle. I'm like, man, kind of looks like Seese's car. I'm like, that's fucking wild. Like, that's crazy.
Did you rub your? Oh man.
So I'm pulling into the parking lot and I get closer and this person standing next to it. I'm like, that person kind of looks like Seese. Like, that's no way. I mean, I'm in Springfield, Missouri. Kansas City, Missouri is like 3 hours away. I'm like, I don't see why he'd be here like middle of the week. I get closer and I'm like, holy fuck, that is Seese. I roll down the window and I scream at him. I'm like, Seese! And he turns around just like surprised with a cigarette in his mouth. He's just like, what the fuck? Augie? Like his dad,
right
like
now.
his dad hears his last name too, because father, son, same last name. He's like, who the hell is this, Josh? And he's just like, we were at the Marines. And so like the hotel that we were at, luckily, it was a Marriott, and it was one of the ones that has like a bar in the lobby. He's just like, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, I don't know. He's just like, meet me downstairs for beers in like half an hour. I'm like, perfect. I got a shower. So me and him just like get bombed that night. And I think his dad paid for us.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it was a fucking just one of the most random things. It was fantastic. But like they were in Springfield for like a muscle car show.
Yeah.
And I was just randomly working there. I'm just like, this is so wild. And then I got excited because I thought that sort of thing would happen more and more. And then I could see like all my Marine friends randomly while I was working. It didn't.
No, he's like the unicorn of Marine friends.
Yeah, he is. And then the only other one I ever saw was I was working in Georgia. You remember Stanley from Airframes?
Maybe vaguely, yeah.
Totally wild. Everyone called him Stanimal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was working down there at Lockheed, so I called him up, and I'm just like, hey, dude, I'm going to be working down here for a little bit. You want to hang out? He's just like, yes.
Yeah. Always do. Yeah, he came in clutch that day. Like we were, it's no the night too, man. And it was the rear end was a split diff, like a 2-speed rear end.
Uh-huh.
And we didn't know that, and we ended up driving it in like low range.
Oh,
Of like max friction. Yeah, so he had to do some motor work for us. I think he got paid handsomely. I wasn't part of that deal. I was just supposed to drive the bus or like ride. Because essentially all I did was ride.
yeah.
But yeah, he would do some work in there. But yeah, dude, he came in clutch. He's like, yeah, dude, just show up. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that dude is great.
Yeah, his dad came out too. Well, I went to a Cottonmouth Kings concert with him when I first got to the fleet, to the squadron. I forgot how we just started hanging out or whatever. And he's like, yo, I never knew where to go for that Christmas. I wasn't going to go anywhere. He's like, yo, we got to go pick up my Mustang, my car. So I thought we were going to pick up the Chevelle. And we flew up and he had bought that Mustang.
Mm-hmm.
And man, so Christmas and New Year's with Seese, met his mom and dad. They were cool as heck. And then we drove that car back through the mountain. Oh man, yeah, we should not have driven that. We made it back in like, I don't know. I don't remember how long the trip was from his house in Missouri to back to J Vegas, but we made it in like way faster time coming back than we should have.
Nice. Yeah, I know from Western Tennessee, so like right there by the Mississippi River on 40, all the way across is 12 hours to J Vegas.
Oh yeah, we made it. Yeah, I think it was like 15. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, considering I don't know where you guys would have started in Missouri, but probably sounds about right.
Yeah, we some. So I think it was like 15 hours. We had like we listened to Dwight Yoakam the whole way. I don't know why.
That's
But
borderline torture.
yeah, I mean, we were having a good time. I mean, there was so many cigarette smoke. But yeah, we made it pretty quick. That car, because and it snowed and it was icy and it was salt and all kinds of crap all over that nice freaking car when we got it back into Jacksonville. Oh man,
Yeah.
it's time. It's time. We're doing so much things that we should not have been doing at those young age. We should have been doing our NCIs and our
I
barracks room,
I should have done mine too.
like math and marines, um, how not to get NJPs.
Math for Marines, spelling for Marines. That was always my favorite one. I was explaining to people like, yeah, there's a spelling for Marines distance learning course.
I don't think I did any of those.
I did the like required 7 to pick up corporal. That was it.
Oh, I never got that far. So
Yeah. Those are the ones that I did. I did the required 7 to pick up corporal.
never got that far.
I'm like, give me my
Yeah,
100 points. Get out of here.
I forgot all about that. Man, it's good times, good times. So that's where I'm at now. I'm in Wisconsin,
Wisco,
married
land of
to
ranch dressing.
land of what?
Ranch dressing.
No, it's just cheese and meat.
All the people that I know from Wisconsin are more about arguing which brand of ranch dressing is superior. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I don't.
Ask someone tomorrow, be like, hey, do you prefer Ken's or Hidden Valley? And like, you might start a small scale war where you work.
I'm gonna try. No, I'm gonna try it. I will see what happens.
Yeah.
Go out on the limb. Be like, Augie told me to do this. I'm gonna do it.
They won't know who Augie is, so I feel safe. Also, I'm in New Hampshire right now for work, so like they can't like curse my name too loudly.
No, you'll hear it. I'll call you and tell you.
I'll feel a disturbance in the force. I'll be like, oh man, somebody really hates Ken's ranch dressing.
Sure, they told us, didn't
Be like,
no,
so
I got
Ken's
here,
buttermilk, I hear, is superior to Hidden Valley Original. That'll start World War
yeah.
III.
My wife is a ranch aficionado.
Is she originally from Wisconsin?
Her family is, but this is her thing. So like, no ranch is better than the other ranch. But if you order food from a restaurant, you have to eat that food with that ranch that comes from that restaurant. So
yeah, that makes sense.
That doesn't make sense to me.
So you advocate keeping a hidden pocket ranch of your own ranch, which you find the best.
No. So like, if we pick up food or get it delivered, it has to come with their ranch. Does that make sense? Like, if she goes to Buffalo Wild Wings, she's got to get Buffalo Wild Wings ranch to eat with her Buffalo Wild Wings, or else it's not good.
So you're saying if you get delivery of Buffalo Wild Wings and they forget to bring ranch, she won't just go to the fridge and get the Hidden Valley.
No, she will not do that. I will go to Buffalo Wild Wings and get her ranch.
You're a good husband.
Well, no, I'm forced to.
No. Bates, we're not going to say you're forced to.
I'm a good husband.
You are a good husband.
I'm a good husband.
You are a good husband. You remember that. You just go, I love you, babe. I got you. I got your ranch. You're the best, and I don't deserve you, and you deserve this ranch with your Buffalo Wild Wings because you're wild.
She doesn't find me as funny as anybody else. This is ridiculous.
Women rarely do.
Yeah, she thinks that. She's like, you're dumb. I'm like, I'm not. I'm really smart. Come on. So let me tell you how she picked me up. So I'm working at that bar.
Wait. She picked you up?
Yeah, she picked me up.
Oh, hold on. Let me get comfortable. I'm going to kick my shoes off. I'm going to pour a glass of wine, and you're going to tell me all the deets, girl. Go.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to. So I'm working at the bar. And it's late. We were getting ready to close up, and there's this girl wearing glasses, and she's cute. And I see her, but I'm being respectful because I'm a respectful man. You know what I mean?
I know.
So I'm stocking beer. Well, the beer fridge is right in front of her, and she's at the bar smoking her little vape, right? And this is a lot better if you could see me. But she's smoking her vape, and she's doing it seductively, and I feel her eyes on me, like just like I'm a piece of meat, and she just wants to tenderize me. And I'm like, whoa.
Well, yeah.
So I turn around and
You.
So I turn around and I look.
You're good meat though.
Go ahead.
Grade A.
That's like, yeah.
USDA
man.
prime.
Oh yeah, prime. So I turn around and I look, and she's just like her eyes got a little sparkle in them, right? It could have been her glasses, or it could have been the vape smoke in her eyes, but they just kind of sparkled. And I was like, oh, I was like,
hold on. I have to ask one small question. Did you ask her if her daddy was a thief and put the sparkle of the stars in her eyes?
I did not. This gets better.
Oh.
This is just the first. Yeah, this gets way better. So she's talking to me and she's asking me a couple questions, and I'm at work, so I'm trying to do work. So I'm trying to be respectful, but kind of like, I'm not interested. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So she knows I work at this bar. So then she proceeds to hunt me like a big game animal. So she shows up.
So you're the elk and she's the mountain lion?
Well, no, like she's the guy on the buffalo, and and I'm the elk. Yeah, just to hunt me, like ridiculous. So every time she comes in after that, she's doing the eye thing and she's trying to get information out of me. So I'm like, I'm trying to play it cool. So eventually, her stepdad comes in. Like there's a whole group of them. So it's like her and her stepdad and like a bunch of her friends. They had a big memorial service at this biker bar. And I think I had a girlfriend at the time. Yeah, I had a girlfriend at the time. So she's trying to talk to me, and I'm trying to do work. The bar's packed, you know. I'm picking up beers and throwing them away and stuff like that. And I'm tickled because of getting flirted with, but it happens most of the time. I'm not bad to look at, and I got a nice, caboose. So I'm trying to be respectful, and I'm picking up beers and stuff. And her stepdad comes to me and he goes, "Hey," he goes, "you should really talk to Crystal, talk to my daughter," is what he called her. She really likes you. She's got a kid, she's a good mom. And starts giving me the lowdown,
Mm-hmm.
And then like, oh no. I was like, that's cool, man. I was like, no worries. I got a girlfriend. And he dead ass says, "That's cool. She likes girls too." And I'm like, what? Yeah. So that night, yeah. So that night, I'm doing my thing or whatever, and she's still at the bar. Everybody else is leaving, and she's waiting on like her Uber because she is a responsible drinker. She does not drink and drive, which is great. So she's waiting on her Uber or whatever, and she's chatting me up, and she's like, "You should really come skinny dipping at my dad's house." And I'm like, that doesn't sound. It's like 2:00 in the morning. It's like, I need to go to bed. I was like, no. I was like, rain check, just trying to do that. So this happens a couple more times. She comes and chats me up. Well, we were doing a no shave, no haircut bet at school. And it was coming to the end of that run, and I was looking pretty homeless, so I needed a haircut. And she came in and she was talking, and it was kind of slow, whatever. We were getting ready to close up. So I chatted with her a little bit, and I asked her what she did. Well, she's a hairdresser. She's works at like a Great Clips or whatever. So I got her information. And when she was working next, and I was like, yeah, I'll come and see you like on Saturday or whatever. Went in, got my haircut, and then got her name and stuff. And then I kind of sneakily slid into her DMs and was like, "Hey, thanks for the haircut." And just kind of started chatting her up a little bit. And then we started rapping, and that's how it happened. Now we got 3 kids who live in Wisconsin.
I don't know how it happened. Or you don't know how it happened. Now you're just living in Wisconsin with 3 kids.
Yeah, she hit me with something, and now I'm here. I just thought it was hilarious. Like her family's great. They love me.
So she really did hunt you down, wear you down, exhaust you, and like now she's just having her way with you, making you get her ranch.
Yeah, she's like, "Get my ranch, bitch." I'm like, "Yes, man."
Batez, get my ranch now.
That's exactly. She's like, "I need my ranch." Well, yeah, I'll get it, honey. Don't worry.
Crystal, how do you like your coffee? Ranch.
She likes it cold. She likes it cold Crap. Oh my goodness. Yeah, people don't believe me. She hunted me. Like she was like eyes on the prize, bitch. Boom, there he is. I'm
I
getting
believe
it.
you. You are like a prize, bro. You're like
I,
an EGOT. You're an Oscar, a Grammy, or an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and a Tony all wrapped into one.
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty handy around the house and shit too.
And you can
So
use a
yeah, I think
wrench.
she did good. Oh man, I can use a wrench like no other. I use wrench to eat peanut butter sometimes. It's clean.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have judged you if it wasn't.
Oh no, yeah. No, she's good. She's good. Then we ended up with Kinsley, our oldest. I adopted her.
Nice.
Which, yeah, she's my main go-to. That's my scary movie buddy right there.
Nice.
So what did we watch the other day? We watched a movie from like the 70s. What is it, like Troll? Way back
Oh,
in the day. She loved
oh
it.
yeah, I liked
Yeah,
those ones. Those were good.
she loved it. She loved it. So she likes the new scary stuff. Um,
Dude,
but I try to get her to like Puppet Masters and things like that, like old school scary movies, like what we watched when we were kids. She digs it.
speaking of 70s bad movies, I had to explain Evil Dead and Army of Darkness to my girlfriend.
She's too young for you, bro.
She's 3 weeks older than me.
Oh my goodness. So did you see the new ones that have come out?
Did I what now?
There's a new Evil Dead. It's been
No.
out for a while now.
Oh yeah,
So it
that one
doesn't
I've
have,
seen.
yeah. And then there's another one coming out.
Did you know that they made a musical of the Evil Dead?
I did not know that, but now I will look for it and possibly watch it tonight.
If you ever have a chance to like go see it in a theater, like because that's where I saw it, do it. And they do the first 2 rows as like a blood splatter zone. So like you get a poncho and like blood will splatter on you. Like I recommend sitting there.
Oh my God. Where did you see this at? When did this happen? How come you didn't call me?
I saw it in Cleveland
I don't like Ohio.
because so when like musicals go on tour, like the first stop is Buffalo, and there's nothing to do in Buffalo if you're a rich hoity-toity person, because so they're always sold out. So the next stop is
Yeah.
Cleveland, and it's like half the price compared to what it is in Buffalo. And I'm like, I'll drive 2 hours. I don't care. So like sometimes when they got
Oh yeah.
something cool, like I'd go see that. Like I saw Book of Mormon there. I saw the Evil Dead musical there. I saw something else.
I'm
But
gonna
yeah,
have to check that out.
if you can find the
Definitely.
Evil Dead musical, if it's still like playing anywhere, and if it's somewhere you can like go see it, like I recommend it.
I'm gonna check it out. What was I gonna say? What did I see last? I was gonna say something else last train of thought, but when we started talking about blood splatter, I was getting excited.
Well, yeah,
Um,
it's like a Guar show.
oh, dude, what did I watched Empire Records the other day when the dude was watching the TV and then Guar comes up and starts talking into the TV. There's
So
like so much. Oh,
so the other week, um, so Ryan lives in Wilmington, and that's where Empire Records was filmed. His wife
oh
loves
yeah.
Empire Records, and the place where it was filmed is now a brewery called Rebellion, and they had Empire Records viewing party there, and like some sort of like event, and like a couple of the cast members were there or something. He was telling me about it. But yeah, that was like a thing last weekend, not like
Now,
yesterday weekend, but like the one before that.
they have a website, dude, for Evil Dead musical.
Yeah, because it's great.
Let me check this out. I love Bruce Campbell. Where did I see him in last? He was in something.
It was a TV show.
Um, I don't know. I can't remember. But I stay pretty busy around this place. I don't get a whole lot of time to do stuff. It doesn't have a. Oh, it looks good though. Oh, it looks so good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm definitely gonna get. I don't. I'm gonna take my daughter. She's gonna love it.
She will.
Oh,
If she
oh,
doesn't, I will reimburse you for the cost of her ticket, not yours, because you'll love it.
no, don't worry about her. She'll probably get in 3 because she's like really short. They're like, look, this is a baby. Brown. Do you remember Brown?
Jason Brown?
Yes, I talked to him the other day on the Facebook.
Yeah, I talked to him a few times too. What's up with him? Other than going to see hockey games.
He's in California.
Yeah, he works at Disney.
For Disney. Yeah, so he was telling me that, and I was like, well, that's crazy, man. I was like, how long have you been there? And he was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, we could have seen you. He's like, what is it? What ride is he on? The Haunted Mansion?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were there last summer-ish. Yeah, with our oldest. And I was like, man, I wish I would have known. I would have hollered at you. He's like, yeah, dude, I could have got you all over the place. I was like, dang it.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, there's a splatter.
No, I know, like, I didn't know he worked on the Haunted Mansion ride. I knew he was at Disney, but I also been, I follow him on Facebook. We're friends. We talk randomly. But, like, he's just been posting about all the hockey games he's going to, and, like, it was like 3 in a row of Canadian teams, and him and his wife were wearing the Canadian team's jersey. I'm like, why are you wearing the Canadian jersey? Like, what is wrong with you?
They're in Cali too, man.
He's SoCal for life. I'm like, what's with that?
So I have to deal with Packers fans because we're just south of Green Bay, and it is like a sea of green and yellow everywhere. And then my wife cuts hair for sports clips, like right next to the stadium, almost like, I don't know, like maybe 5 minutes. She cut the owner's hair the other day, so I get to hear all about that cool stuff.
And I understand that you, being from Texas, are a giant Green Bay fan.
Oh man, and this is probably gonna be a shock to everybody. I don't watch football that much. Like if it's on and I'm at somebody's house, I'm not gonna say nothing. But I just can't get behind it. Not a whole lot. Like not to the extent that these people do. Like oh, I bleed Green Bay colors. Look, my blood isn't that color.
Well, I mean, luckily for me, the Bills are red, white, and blue. So if I say something like that, I just sound like super American.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, I believe. Whoa, that's American, aren't you?
Well, yeah,
very American.
Bleed red, white, and blue.
Oh, we've seen Bert Fleischner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, check this shit out.
Was it fucking hilarious?
Oh my God. Nobody that we took with us had seen him at all. Just me. So they had no clue what was about to happen, and
they never heard the machine.
Never. And I'm like, you guys are uncultured. Like, I can't hang out with you guys. You guys are lame. And it's like my wife and her cousin. So it was hilarious because, like, in the middle of his set, so he's drinking beer. Obviously, he shotguns beer because he's grown up.
Right.
When he had to take a leak. So he kills a water bottle. He doesn't have a shirt on, obviously. Turns around, walks to the back of the stage, still in view of everybody. Just turns around and pisses in the water bottle. Like, in the middle of the show.
I mean, that's perfectly reasonable to me.
I don't have a problem with that either. And then before the show was even, I don't know what happened. He was telling the story. And all of a sudden, it got very patriotic. And then he started singing the Star Spangled Banner. I think it's the national anthem. He started singing the national anthem. And then everybody else. So, like, the whole show's going, right? And then all of a sudden, it just stops. And then all the screens, like, it wasn't planned. Like, there was no way this was planned. Then everybody in the whole arena was singing the national anthem with him. Like, we stopped the whole show just to sing the national anthem. Like, it was hilarious.
That is wild.
Yeah, it's a pretty good show. I hope this is decent content for your podcast.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
If it wasn't, I'd be like, you are a racist cuck, and we are not airing this.
Definitely not that.
That's good.
Definitely not that. Yeah.
Uh,
So, but that's where we're at now. In Wisconsin, pulling water out of protein, growing bonsai trees.
Fuck yeah, man. Wait, did you
Are
say
you?
pulling water out of protein or are you pulling protein out of water?
We're pulling the water out of it.
But you could also say it transversely and it's just as true.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah,
You're separating the water from the protein.
we're dewatering.
You're making anhydrous protein, which is just a fancy way
Yeah,
of saying dehydrated.
dehydrated protein. There's not all the way dehydrated. So I think there's like a.
There's
I think
another
there's like
step
a.
after you guys?
No, well, it goes to the wastewater treatment plant, but essentially what they're getting from us is clean water. So I guess the way waste that they're giving us is like 85 to 90% water, and then they have little microscopic solids in there. And then what we do is we pull 60 to 75% of that water out. So they got to haul off a thicker waste, but we're saving them money because the it's not as voluminous. So it's more of a we cut back on the trucks that they're using to haul it. Is basically what we're doing.
Got it.
Let's
I
say they
understand
haul
that.
out, yeah, they haul out like 15 trucks a day,
Hmm.
but we're cutting it back by like 2/3.
Nice.
Yeah. So then that's less insurance, less hazardous waste on the highways, and then we do the same thing. It would be the same process for when we do dairies. Um, I think we have our system. Uh, we got one overseas, but I can't really. I don't remember where we put it. We put it in a like a shipping container esque kind of thing,
Hmm.
like a compact unit where it's just a you set this unit there and you run your pipe to it and then let it do its thing. We got one overseas. They're using them at distilleries. Yeah, so like any kind of waste with any kind of water content, we can essentially what we're trying to do is sell the fact that we can dewater any waste with a water content in it and give you clean water. So some of the dairies that we're doing this with, they're actually reusing the water for the cattle,
Okay.
which is perfectly yes, it's great. It's actually if you through our process, if you run it through a carbon filter right after our process,
Hmm.
you can drink it and it won't smell. Does that make sense?
It does because I use a lot of carbon for my work. I use both liquid
Yeah,
phase and vapor phase.
yeah. So I do the labs for it too, and that's what I was doing in Arizona. Was running the labs and stuff at the research field. So I do a little bit of labs here too, just kind of like process control, just to get it to make sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. So essentially, when I do my labs, conductivity, pH, COD, dissolved solids, total solids, the whole nine, it comes back as pure water. The only reason why I wouldn't drink what we're making over here at this factory is because it smells like the factory. So run it through
Ugh.
a carbon filter, get rid of the smell, good to go. Like everything, all my data proves that it is water, legitimate water, and it is amazing.
That is pretty amazing.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
I didn't know that was a thing.
go ahead. Yeah, I didn't. I thought about it because when I was reclaiming water down in Arizona, I was like, well, this is smart because we're in the desert, obviously.
Hmm.
We've got that one canal that feeds 90%, well, all the cities, and every city is pulling off of that canal. So then you got to treat that. And then what do you do with the sewer, with the waste? You know what I mean? You can treat the sewer or you can send it somewhere else. So there we would pull the solids out at the bottom of the tank and dewater them and then dry them out. And then you can't use human waste as fertilizer. You have to go through a couple other processes to get it to the right grade to use it.
Okay.
But there's, huh?
I said, okay, I'm following what you're saying.
Yeah. So, and then I told him, I was like, look, if you, as a city, I mean, we're reclaiming our water right now. So you can use that reclaimed water for irrigation. Perfectly safe for that. And then I was like, we're drying out this waste and turning it into a very high grade fertilizer. You can use that for fields. And then what's a major cash crop going on in Arizona right now because it's all legalized, recreational and medicinal,
Hmm.
and you can grow it. I mean, you can grow weed. I told the city this, and they were like, "Yeah, that's a great idea. We'll have to put it to council." Oh, we'll see.
So yeah,
That was
weed will
kind of the
grow
end game.
anywhere is basically what I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get I think it grows better. Um, I have to look. I've got it wrote down somewhere. I had a whole business plan for it at one point in time.
You made a
I think you get
business
more.
plan for weed for the city in Arizona.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean, think
That's
about it.
awesome.
Well, you've got you're not costing any money with the water. You're not costing any money with. I mean, all you need is the land, and
Hmm.
then you can yield a bigger crop off of a smaller acreage than you can any other crop. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And then you can use the mill plants for hemp. I mean, there's so many uses, so many uses.
I
Back
agree.
in the old days, back in the old days, it was mandatory for you to grow at least, you dedicate one part of your field for hemp. I think that is true. I read it somewhere, but yeah, they would use the hemp for rope and clothes and all kinds of hippies, all kinds of good stuff. Very versatile.
That makes sense because yeah, it was versatile and they did use it for a lot of things. Like I know it was naval ropes. They used it for the sails, I want to say for Navy ships back in the day too. Bunch of other stuff. Like yeah, super
Yeah,
versatile.
they can turn it. Well, if Cheech and Chong has taught us anything, you can paint a whole car with it. They're making plastics now, out of like hemp pulp.
Hmm.
They're making walls and yeah, they're making bricks, all kinds of not like weed bricks, but like out of the pulp from all of this hemp. Like it's you could grow an acre of it and
Yeah, they're
yield
making
more than you could.
biocomposites.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word I was looking for. And he's a smart college boy.
Dropped out of college, boy.
But yeah, there's all kinds of good stuff. Yeah, I did. It was. I felt weird because I was like, I'm telling my city manager this, and she's tracking, and she's like, well, and I'm like, just wait. When it's booming and you guys are making money off of all the taxes because that's where everything is going in tax. Um, you think about it. It's like you've got a wastewater treatment plant right here. You've got that contract with the golf course. You got to send your water, your reclaimed water to them. You can siphon off a little bit here and there, water a crop,
Hell
put
yeah.
some high fence around it. Yeah, I suppose it's a good idea. It's gonna
They
be
just can't
happening, man.
appreciate a man with good vision.
I mean, yeah, I'm a genius sometimes.
I'd agree, yeah.
Sometimes I'm pretty smart for the most part. Always thinking, always thinking. I guess that's kind of why I'm pretty good at my gig now. I've had investors come down and look at the equipment I installed, and they're like, "So what did you do before this?" So I kind of give them the basic rundown, my mechanical abilities, and my no college education. It's all been vocational, and they're like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, you know how to do this and this and that." I built an office out of a Connex box down there because the plant wouldn't give me power and they wouldn't give me my own space to run my labs.
Hmm.
But I had a storage container to store all my elements and filters and things like that. It's just a solid wall storage container. So I started looking around. I was like, well, I could probably insulate this in the wintertime. And then I could probably put, some wood panels up on the walls or whatever. And I got to look, and then I got the bright idea. I was like, I could solar this or run it off a generator. power. The only thing I don't have in there is plumbing.
Mhm.
But yeah, I turned an 8x20 into a tiny office slash lab.
Nice.
So yeah, it's actually pretty sweet. Everybody that's come to my site, because it wouldn't give me power to the Connex. It wouldn't drop me power. The plant wouldn't. And I was like, well, I've got to run the lab. So I was like, I need a place to run the lab. Like, it's not feasible. There's not enough room. I got to have a spot. I got to have a desk. I got to do inventories. I got to do reports. I got to do this, that, and the other. And I got the go ahead. And then I started framing stuff out. Put some insulation in there. We had some below 0 days, and it stayed above 40 inside that Connex box.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a TV in there, refrigerator. All my stuff is stored in there. I got a little workbench. I got to do stuff. So, and then the investors came through and checked it out, and they're like, "Hey, man," they're like, "Yeah, we're glad we have you here." I'm like, "You're welcome."
That's always a good feeling.
Yeah, definitely. I'm needed.
It's a
Always
what?
great. So, what's been new with you, Augie?
Uh, I guess the big thing is the divorce. Got a girlfriend now. Still got the same job. Yeah, I mean that's like the big things.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, I
we
mean
gotta get Stumble.
I got a
We gotta
what?
get Stumble on here. We
Oh,
gotta get Stumble.
yeah, definitely we do.
What's he doing right now? Is he like busy right now, like the second?
Probably. I mean, he wakes up early. I don't know. He might be like putting his. I guess his daughter would probably be in bed by now. I don't know. You want me to try and see if I can three-way him in?
No, let's wait. Let's wait. We'll get him. Make sure he's good to go. I don't want to just. I don't want to upset him. Because I know how it is. His dad and family and all that good stuff too. Like you got munchkins you got to handle. I got three of them little suckers around
Well,
here.
he's only
Sometimes
got
I
the
wish I could.
one munchkin, and then his son from a previous relationship is about 14, I want to say. So Charlie is the little girl, and she's short for Charlotte, and
Charlotte.
she's 4, 3, 4. I want to say she's 4.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. Let's bring a
Corbin's
second. Give him a heads up. Give him a heads up.
text him right now.
No, let's set up another time. 'Cause I'm about to go and drink a beer. Call it. But yeah, let's set him up another time. But give him a heads up, and I'll make sure my schedule's clear.
All right, yeah. Well, I'll start a group text with you two, and we'll figure something out.
Yeah, hell yeah. You still talk to anybody else?
I talked to tons of people. Like I said, so for New Year's, I went down there, hung out with Ryan and Hawes, because he's still in Jacksonville. He's running the schoolhouse for airframes.
Oh, Hawes?
Hawes is, yeah, as a civilian
Oh man.
contractor for Boeing. He's
Oh shit.
so he's doing that. Nick and so Nick Byers and Donnie Faribaugh, they got a hold of me today because I posted about the podcast on Facebook. Babcock, you remember him? He was in Seese with us for a bit.
Yeah, I
Randomly
remember
talked to
that.
him too. Ooh, you know who I talked to a lot actually? Justin
Who?
Peck.
Oh, Peck. I've seen his little mustache, dude. I like that.
Dude, he's crushing it. He's out in Vegas. He's a helicopter EMT.
Yes, I saw that. I was like, dude, I don't know what it was, but like Flighty were like the coolest guys on the block. Like you could always get whatever you needed for them.
As long as you had the right hookup for him, Peck would get you.
Yeah,
Peck would work with you, but he wouldn't just give it to you.
yeah, he wouldn't do it for you. You'd have to do a little.
Yeah, you'd have to meet him somewhere along the way. Yeah.
It
For a
was
while
it was
he
like
was.
a seven.
He had a like a car upholstery company in St. Louis, like for a little bit, or not St. Louis, Salt Lake. Yeah, so he used to do that, and then he Stop doing that, which made me sad because the pictures that he was doing that came out of there, like the upholstery work he was doing was fucking beautiful.
Wonder why he stopped doing that.
Because there wasn't a lot of money in it.
Oh yeah, so it's like that was like a hobby, man. You can't make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
He was probably very very proud of his work
Yeah, like
and
niche
took his
market
time.
too.
Yeah.
So, he's going
Oh
for
yeah.
like
Now,
ricers and hot rodders and rat rodders and like that's the market he was going for.
but he still knows how to do it, right?
Yo, I'm willing to bet he does.
Oh, good deal. So that means I need to build a car, and then I got an upholstery guy. I just have to shoot him a ring.
I mean, you'd have to get over to Vegas and convince him to do it. He's a very busy man right now. He's got a family
Oh,
and
I know.
he does 24-hour
Yeah, yeah.
shifts on a helicopter.
Oh shit! I could just leave the car there.
Yeah, this is true. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm not in a hurry. I got things to shit too. They're not gonna want to. They're not
if
be
I could
driving
get
for
my
a
hands
while.
on a rat rod, I'd let him like do it.
Oh yeah.
I'd bring it to Seese for the engine and the transmission, and then I'd bring it to Peck for the upholstery and the
We'd,
interior.
we'd have to paint it. We'd have to paint it ourselves though.
It's a rat
We
rod.
know
I would roll it.
you got to. We'd have to take it to Arizona, get that good patina.
Oh
Just
yeah.
let it sit out in the desert for a while. Uh, yeah. So we know some people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the
Who's the guy?
majority of people I talk to. I want to start working and talking to a few more of the guys from Airframes that like I went through the schoolhouse with more. Like I know Ozcan just retired. A couple others. I think Pumphrey's still in.
I was about to ask you about Tom. I haven't seen him like seen on a very dominant social media.
Pumphrey
But
Pumphrey's had a rough year. And for reasons that are I'm not going to air his laundry online. Like
nope.
there was a few deaths in his family basically, and it wasn't
Yeah.
good.
I had one of those, October.
But yeah, no man, like it's fucking great catching up with you.
Oh hell yeah, definitely. Yeah, dude. We probably need to do like we go on the road, go on tour.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah. No, definitely good catching up and swapping old stories.
Fuck yeah, man.
Uh,
Definitely stay in
yeah,
touch. Like, and I will stay in touch too.
yeah. You got my number. Yeah. Let me know what's going on with Sunblock.
All right.
Uh, yeah, and then I'll let you go.
All right.
Let me know. Let me know when you want to do it again. Hopefully, I did good.
Dude,
My
you did
first time.
great.
I think
Yeah,
I
just
kind of bounced
whenever you get a
around a little bit.
chance, send me a photo that you want used for the promotional thing, and then if you want any of your like social media accounts tagged, let me know what those are too.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be famous, huh?
Oh yeah, so if like you got like an Instagram or a Twitter that you want like people to see your thong pics on, like
Ooh, my song pick. Yeah, I might have to make a new one, and then I get to get one of those little blue check marks because I'm verified.
ooh, with your banana hammock, yeah, do it.
I don't think anybody wants to do that.
Not outside of your wife,
Yeah, I don't know. Some old ladies. I don't know. Old ladies love me. I don't know why.
because you're a psychological gigolo.
They just know. They just sense it in their blue hair.
They can just see it.
Mm.
They're just like, he'll ask me for ID.
Oh my goodness! Listen to him. Can you come clean my pool?
That is
Oh
so
man. Yeah.
racist. Just because you're half Mexican, you can clean a pool.
Oh, I have a pool.
All
That's
right, that's
weird,
probably
isn't
why
it?
you can clean a pool.
Yeah. I'm a water chemist. That's what I do. So yeah, I can clean your pool. I'm sorry.
You clean it for
No
what?
habla español though.
Clean all the milk out of it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well now, yeah. You know the milk. Oh, ew.
Ew.
No.
Why
Why is
did I
there
go
milk
there?
in the pool? Yeah. All right. All right. Good talking with you, August. We're gonna leave it there. Milk, pool milk does the body good.
That's better than cereal milk.
Ugh. Ugh. I don't
Uh,
know. I heard a story. I heard a story about a family pour their cereal milk back in the jug, and they had two separate jugs. One was for the cereal milk, one was for the regular milk. I think I read that on Facebook actually.
That's kind of
One of
wild.
those weird, yeah, it was one of those weird where you're up at night just surfing, just pops up. Oh,
You
this
know what I
crazy
have to
thing.
say about that?
Mm.
I know I shouldn't profile and, judge people by like what they do and stuff, but those people were white.
I would never do that because the cereal milk is the best part of the cereal.
I would drink it.
That's exactly what I would do. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it
what you're
wouldn't make it
supposed to
back
do,
to the
right?
jug. I would like fucking drink it.
Yeah, ooh, like Fruity Pebbles, dude. You're not getting Fruity Honey Nut Cheerios even. You're not getting that back in this.
You're
No,
not
hell
getting
no.
that one back. And if it's Reese's Puffs, fuck you.
Oh, you're definitely not getting that back with it. Oh no, definitely not.
Mm-mm, mm-mm,
Nope.
mm-mm.
Uh-uh.
Reese's Puff, that is my milk. I worked hard pouring that milk and that cereal into that bowl. But
Yeah,
that
and then
brings
like
up
if
an
you,
important question. So when you're pouring milk and cereal into a bowl, do you pour the milk in first or the cereal in first?
I put the cereal in first,
Good, you're
and
normal and not a
then
monster.
I put the cereal in first. But check this out. So I have a special bowl. Oh. So I put cereal in first. My wife just brought me a Guinness. She's the best.
She sounds like the best. Tell her she's going to get some ranch later.
Oh man, I'm gonna give her so much rant. So yeah, so cereal in the bowl first. I got a metal bowl. Mm, it's like a quart bowl. So cereal in first, depending on what cereal it is. If it's like a fruity pebbles or like the chocolate pebbles that don't really float too much, just pour the milk in over the top. You're good to go. Or like the bunches of oats with the almonds or whatever. It doesn't float too bad. You don't got to worry about it. Reese's Puffs, Cocoa Puffs, anything that floats, I put my hand over the top of it and then pour the milk in to fully submerge all the cereal. I feel like that's the best way to do it.
Brilliant.
Well, I mean, it's like you got to hold the Cocoa Puffs down in the bowl so that they get saturated with the milk so that, it's like you still get the crunch, but you get that wet crunch. I feel like that's the best. That's the best part of the cereal right there, the wet crunch.
Yeah, I could dig it.
Like, are you picturing it in your head? Like,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
quart of
like
cereal.
the actual like wet crunch. Like I'm envisioning it against like my teeth and taste buds right now.
Yeah, like
So like the
the
outer
best
layer is
part
a
of the
little
cereal.
soft and the inner layer is like still got a little crunch to
Yeah,
it. Yes,
yeah,
that's the
but
wet
you got to
crunch.
hold it down. You got to hold the cereal down in the bowl while you pour the milk in, or else the milk, the liquid displacement or the flotation of the cereal will cause it to come out and spill over the bowl. Because I don't know about you, but I'm a grown man and I need a full bowl of cereal, not a half bowl, a full bowl.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I have not eaten cereal in a few years.
Mm.
Mm.
I think I ate some Cheerios like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I'm not
Well,
huge on cereal. I'm also not huge on breakfast. Not because I'm into intermittent fasting or anything, just because I don't like to eat first thing in the morning.
so I do not like to eat first thing in the morning either, but I like breakfast food. Like that's my kryptonite.
Like
Breakfast food.
like breakfast burritos.
Burritos, chicken fried steak and eggs, hash
Mm,
browns,
mm.
pancakes, waffles, like sausage, bacon. Yeah, that's my weakness because I feel like so I did try the intermittent fasting, but I found out like throughout the day I did kind of start lifting just a little bit, but you have to feed the body.
This is a
So
very true statement.
yeah, so I eat and I eat. I try to eat as healthy as I can. Sometimes you can't do that because you
Life
going to work all
happens.
the time. So yeah, you don't have time to make your breakfast in the morning. So there for a little while I was meal prepping or whatever. I went keto for a hot minute. That was great. Um, but yeah, I don't like to feel hungry.
Hmm.
So I eat. I eat. Breakfast is my go-to. I like biscuits and gravy.
Oh, I don't blame
Gravy
you.
is
I
its
love
own
that
food group.
stuff.
Dude,
Have you
gravy is
ever
its own
had
food group.
Brinner?
What is that?
Brinner, it's where you have breakfast foods for dinner.
Oh, so it's like, or like, yeah, Brenner.
Yeah, Brinner.
But I didn't know there was a name for it.
There is. It's called Brinner.
I just call it breakfast, lunch, and dinner and just eat breakfast food all day. I could probably get away with that. I like to make my own hash browns, though. Me, hash browns. The crispy.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
man.
I like Irish potatoes.
Irish potatoes are good. I can do that. I can do,
Or wait, no, is it potatoes
sometimes I mix,
O'Brien? It's the
oh,
square,
yeah,
the little cubes, and then it's got the peppers and
yeah.
onion and sausage mixed in. That's the one.
Oh, dude, I'm all about the peppers and onions. You gotta have, I mean, the color of it. It just looks festive.
I know,
Plus
it's
in the taste.
beautiful. It's like all the
It is
colors of the
beautiful.
Italian or Mexican flag, like right there with potato.
Yeah, but it's called O'Brien. O'Brien Italian?
I mean, Mediterranean Irish.
And that's ringing. I get it. I get it. Mm, yeah. Now I'm hungry.
Well,
Thanks, Augie.
you got that Guinness. It's a steak in a bottle.
Oh man, yeah, it's a good one. Oh no, this isn't a can.
It's a steak in a can, then.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. I don't know what it is. So over the years of drinking and debauchery, I have found that, and you might agree with me on this, and there are certain alcohols, liquors, and beers that do not agree with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's, yeah, so there are certain hard alcohols that make me a butthole. So over the years, I have figured out what those alcohols are, and I do not drink those. Do you want to know what alcohols make me not a butthole?
Yes.
Irish,
Irish.
Jameson, and Guinness.
That's it. That's the list.
Those are the only two good ones. Tequila, no, not good with tequila.
Tequila's a
I
hard
had
no
a
for me too.
Yeah, I had a horrible experience with some tequila. Let's see, uh, Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels is no good. I chased a bottle of Jack Daniels with bottles for the comfort. This was an unlisted story. I puked out black stuff for like 2 hours.
I can
So
see
that
that
is
happening.
no longer good in my book. Um, I was a bourbon guy there for a hot minute. Then it got to be ridiculous. So then I switched to a smoother, uh, more responsible type of drink. So Guinness is good, and Jameson is good. So I'm probably the only half Mexican that likes their Irish whiskey and beer.
It's not unheard of, though. I also have a Filipino friend who loves Guinness and Jameson.
Oh, dude, I love it. It's so dark and smooth. Oh man, I've tried the Shiner box you get out of Texas. They're good. They're good, but
Have you
they've got
had
a
the Guinness coffee stout? I think that's what it's
yeah.
called. Do you like that
What
one?
did I drink the other day? It's in Michigan. It was a local brew. It was called Devil Dog, so I had to try it, and it was an oatmeal stout.
Ooh,
And
those are good.
yeah, it was. It was. I was in Michigan for work in Plymouth, and they had it at the bar. We stayed at the Hilton. So it has the bar, and what the hell was it? But they do them in like they're like small batch brews.
Hmm.
But I can't remember who the brewery was. But it was local, and it was delicious. And then down in Yuma, they've got a coconut. Um, it's a dark beer, but it's a coconut dark beer. Oh my god, so smooth, no bite, like ridiculous
Nice.
smooth. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, you drink it and you think you're on an island, but you're drinking a dark beer. It's at an old jailhouse down near Yuma. I can't remember what it's called now. Dwyer was with me. If I showed you a picture of Dwyer, you know exactly what he was talking about. Uh, oh no, you might have been gone already. I think he was your replacement.
What?
Yeah, I think you left right before I did, right?
I
Yeah,
left in June of 2008.
yeah. So he was after you. Dwyer was. He was an airframer, and he had gelled hair. but he was from Kentucky. Oh my God, you would have loved him. He was from Kentucky, but he was like, I don't even know if it's like a gangster Kentucky, like he liked rap. He was from Kentucky, but he had that Kentucky freaking twang. Oh my goodness, you would have loved him. But he was working on C-130s down in Yuma, and I went and checked him out, and we went to that bar.
Mhm.
Oh my God, yeah, like 20 of them beers, so smooth.
Nice.
All right, well, good. We were gonna hang up like 20 minutes ago, weren't we?
Yeah, we definitely got sidetracked.
Mm. Well, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna get something to eat. It was good talking to you.
All right, man. It was great to
You
hear
got
from you
my
too.
you got my info. I've got your info. Go ahead and put me in that group chat with Stoneball.
Sounds
With
good,
Ryan.
bro.
Alrighty, man. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. I love you, bro.
I love you too, bro.
Bye.
Later.